The Galaxy A71 brings an excellent amount of upgrades over its predecessor. This device is a pleasure to hold and use. The display is a 6.7-inch AMOLED panel. The display is beautiful as well. All the AMOLED awesomeness is present, such as vivid colors with the option to switch to a more natural look, deep blacks, wide viewing angles and excellent brightness levels. Thanks to the Infinity OS screen, the bezels have been reduced and the punch hole for the front camera looks better than the U-shaped camera cutout we saw on the Galaxy A70's display. The A71 is sleek and light. There is a plastic on the back, but the phone feels premium while not being slippery as a phone with a glass back. The in-display optical fingerprint sensor has been improved as well. It's much quicker and more accurate than last year, even more so than the theoretically superior ultrasonic in-display sensor on Samsung's flagships. Naturally, facial recognition is supported and it works well most of the time. It is powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 730 8nm chipset coupled with 6 or 8GB of RAM depending on the variant you buy. Performance in day-to-day use is excellent, there's barely any stutter or lag, and all of the graphically intensive gaming titles run well. This phone have quad camera setup. The Galaxy A71 64MP primary camera takes 16MP photos using pixel binning, and when the lighting is right you get really beautiful pictures. There's a lot of detail in daylight shots and good dynamic range. Color reproduction is also faithful to real life in most cases. Nighttime shots come out noisy or grainy, although the dedicated night mode tends to focus on increasing the detail in dark objects rather than controlling noise levels. The 12MP ultra-wide camera takes better photos than the A70 was capable of, at least in terms of the detail captured. The A71 also has a 5MP macro camera, which is a great addition to this setup, and the last one is 5MP depth sensor. You can record 4K video at 30fps and 1080p super slow-mo video at 960fps. On the front there is a single 32MP camera for selfies which delivers great picture quality. It is powered by a 4500mAh battery with 25W fast charging support. It has impressive battery life and can get you up to 2 days on a single charge with light usage on Wi-Fi and a little mobile data, and a full day if you are a heavy user who tends to play games, watch YouTube videos and do other power intensive things on their phone. If you travel a lot, the A71 has excellent endurance even when used as a hotspot. First, the A51 is light, really light. Samsung has always done a good job of building featherweight phones that still feel well made, and the A51 is proof of that. Its 6.5-inch display is nearly 2 inches larger than the 4.7-inch panel inside the Apple's new iPhone SE. The A51 display is flat, which is actually a breath of fresh air from the curved panels in every modern premium handset. It's hard to put my finger on, but a flat screen simply feels simpler to use and easier to live with. The A51 is attractive with its super slim bezels and a display that perfectly follows the silhouette of the body. But it gets better, the A51 has a headphone jack. One of the best things about last year's Galaxy A50 was its AMOLED display, which is a luxury typically reserved for more premium devices. Rather than use a rear-mounted fingerprint sensor, the A51 comes with an in-display optical scanner that works well most of the time. Rather than using one of Qualcomm's mid-range 600 or 700 series chipsets, the Galaxy A51 derives its power from Samsung's own Exynos 9611 CPU and 6 or 8GB of RAM depending on the variant. The A51 excels at games. For a budget handset anyway, you can play most of the popular games without any problem. You might expect 1 or 2 cameras from a $400 phone, but the Galaxy A51 has 4 on the back. A 48MP wide-angle primary shooter supported by 12MP ultra-wide, 5MP depth and 5MP macro optics. A 32MP sensor serves selfie duties on the front. That's a whole lot of megapixels, and when conditions are favorable, the A51 can pull in a lot of detail. We like the A51's depth effects. The ultra-wide shooter shines when the sun is out. There's a surprising level of detail overall in Samsung's shot and good dynamic range as you move from shadows to daylight. Well, so what about the night shots? Well, you would think the A51 would be better equipped for such scenarios because it has a night mode, something Apple's cheapest iPhone lacks. In complete darkness, the shots it captures are not that great. You can record 4K videos at 30fps. Pictures taken with the selfie camera delivers great color and details. Samsung has used a 4000mAh battery into the Galaxy A51. That big battery plus the A51's hardware being optimized more for efficiency than all-out power should guarantee exceptional battery life. This device also supports 15W fast charging. The S70 is good enough to justify its mid-range price tag, and soon you will know why. The Galaxy S70 is actually similar to the Galaxy A50 and follows the same 3D glass-stick design language, where the glass-stick stands for glass-like plastic. With a 6.7-inch Infinity UI screen on the front, the phone is not the most compact option available in the market, but it is still surprisingly manageable. There is hardly any bezel on the front, and despite the large footprint, the phone weighs only 183 grams. The polycarbonate body with all the curves in the right places makes the phone feel sleek and relatively light in the hands. On the rear, the Galaxy S70 stacks a 32MP with 1.7 aperture primary sensor, 8MP wide-angle shooter, and a 5MP depth sensor. As for the selfies, the Galaxy S70 uses the same 32MP sensor on the front as well. There's Scene Optimizer, Live Focus Portrait Mode, Flaw Detection and many more options on the phone. Samsung has included 240fps slow-mos at 1080p, which should be fun to play around. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 675 SoC is currently placed into Galaxy A70. Samsung has paired 2GHz octa-core chipset with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. There is a dedicated microSD card slot that can hold additional 512GB storage. It can handle demanding games, offers great battery life, has super fast charging, and the full version of Samsung Pay that lets you go card free. Samsung A50s smartphone was launched in September 2019. The phone comes with a 6.4-inch Super AMOLED touchscreen display with an aspect ratio of 19.5:9. It is powered by Exynos 9610 processor. It comes with 6GB of RAM. As far as the cameras are concerned, the Samsung A50s on the rear packs a triple camera setup consisting of a 48MP main shooter and 8MP ultra-wide lens along with a 5MP depth sensor. There is a 32MP camera on the front for selfies. This device is based on Android 9.0 Pie and packs 128GB of inbuilt storage that can be expanded via microSD card up to 1TB. It is powered by a 4000 mAh battery with 15W fast battery charging support. Samsung Galaxy M40 is the fourth installment in the company's online exclusive M series. It's also the first M series phone to include a competent Qualcomm chipset and Samsung's striking One UI software. The front of the M40 is dominated by an Infinity O display, whereas the O represents a punch hole. Samsung has managed a 91% screen-to-body ratio, and that makes Galaxy M40 quite manageable and handy. The Galaxy M40 has a 6.3-inch screen which has FHD Plus resolution amounting to 409 ppi. It shows punchy colors, can achieve a maximum brightness of up to 480 nits, and the calibration is quite good. The Galaxy M40 is driven by Qualcomm Snapdragon 675 chipset. With 6GB of DDR4 RAM and 128GB of internal storage. M40 have 32MP with 1.7 aperture sensor as a primary rear camera. The primary sensor gets the assistance of 5MP depth sensor in portrait mode. There is another 8MP sensor on the back that can capture ultra-wide-angle shots. Apart from these rear cameras, there is a 16MP with a 2.0 aperture sensor for a selfie on the front of the phone. The Galaxy M40 fixes what has traditionally been a limitation of affordable Samsung phones. This time Samsung particularly focuses on the performance hardware and uses a popular tried and tested Qualcomm chipset instead of a value Exynos SoC chipset.